As our population ages, many older adults and their families are turning to assisted living communities to ensure safety and independence. Moving to an assisted living community offers a host of opportunities for companionship and socialization. Also provides an environment that can greatly enhance quality of life and one's mental health. These communities offer older adults a vibrant and supportive place to thrive. Hello, everyone. I'm Cheryl Musial, and welcome to My Care Advisors. In this episode, the benefit of residing in an assisted living community, we are joined by Carla Middlecamp. She's a certified senior advisor and owner of Care Patrol of West Michigan Lakeshore. Let's listen in. Well, Carla, it's such a pleasure to have you join our listeners today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Cheryl. I'm happy to be here. I'd love to spread this information to our listeners.
Well, fantastic. So, Carla, a top question just at the start of this episode is, can you please explain to our listeners what is meant by assisted living?
Well, of course. I had the official meaning for us. It is assisted living residence or an assisted living community. It is a housing facility for people sometimes with disabilities or for adults who cannot or choose not to live alone. Many of our assisted living communities that I work with are 60 and older, sometimes even up to 100 years old. These communities provide a really safe environment and they provide staff 24/7.
Well, Carla, thank you for sharing that really great overview of what assisted living really is. I was wondering, could you share with our listeners some of those typical services and amenities that are offered in communities that you work with?
Sure. In addition to a cost for housing, these costs can range in private rooms or shared bedrooms or even full apartments. These communities do provide assistance with bathing, dressing, grooming, transferring. Sometimes they have great chef-prepared meals, snacks, housekeeping, laundry, basic furniture, and most importantly, companionship.
Well, if I understand this correctly too, Carla, services can really vary, right? Is that correct, from different communities?
Absolutely. We offer some smaller settings to the larger setting communities. The services do vary in each of the communities, and that is what helps us define what is the most perfect match for our individual seniors.
That's wonderful. I love how you mentioned perfect match, and I think that's all about trying to find that right community, and really leads into the question I really like to ask you, because you work with so many different families and older adults across your region. And I was wondering, what are you seeing as some of those top benefits of an older adult or a person that needs extra assistance to live in a community?
Some of the top benefits for sure is home-cooked meals. Many times they're living at home and they're eating the sugary cookies and ice cream for every meal. So a major benefit for assisted living is those chef-prepared meals. And the social activities that are offered. There's so much to do in assisted living, whether that be the small library or all of the activities on a bus ride to, the parks and ice cream rides, things like that. But the best benefit is staffing, that they provide 24/7 care, which also includes sometimes medication management or help with all activities of daily living. They provide wonderful exercise classes. I love the balloon tosses, are my favorite. So when someone moves into assisted living community, they often feel safe in their surroundings, and I believe they begin to feel like an extended family.
That sounds really wonderful. And also, just to underscore what you said about that extended family, I'm sure it really gives peace of mind for their family members, and also the individual that is surrounded by people that are really there to support them.
Correct.
Well, I was wondering, Carla, can you share a client story? I know there has to be so many that you've worked with, but could you highlight just one that comes to the top of your mind about someone who's really living their best life and thriving in a community that they selected to match their lifestyle?
I do have many stories after all of these years finding the matches that we work with on a daily basis. But I believe my favorite story begins with my own family. I recently had to find an assisted living and or memory care for an aging uncle, my Uncle Jim. He is the sweetest, the smartest, and the funniest uncle with aging dementia. He very much loves to read. He walks a lot. He laughs often, and also was the biggest U of M fan. So go blue. Definitely in Michigan, go blue. His spouse, my aunt, she was very tired and very frail. The years of caring for him really did take a toll on her. He would get lost in the neighborhood and we'd have the police officers bring him back. They actually knew him by name. So it was starting to be an unsafe situation and we needed to find a fit for him but for him and also for her. So we did take our time and look to find the match for Uncle Jim. And we found a really small assisted living that did not have a lot of activities, that was very quiet. He could have his book in front of him. Most of the time, the book was upside down. So we would get a good chuckle when we would see the book he was reading and ask about that. But the best part of this community is that they often played Michigan sports on the TV. So that he would always be able to see the uniforms, and it was like a sense of home to him. My aunt could visit often, and she would do help, with the bathing or whatever she needed it to be when they needed her to be there. So again, finding that match for not only my family, but all of the families that we work with has been a great inspiration to me.
Oh, that's such an endearing story. And it sounds like you found the perfect spot for your Uncle Jim and also his spouse, your aunt. I just love that. And also, on a side note, I love that it's a Michigan fan. So let's go blue, him go blue. But that's fantastic. So it could really help him, mind, body, spirit, with everything that they're trying to keep thriving. So thanks for sharing that. Let's move to a little bit different topic that I'm thinking that our listeners would really like to learn more about is how do you determine the best community to match the preferences and also the amenities that you're looking for?
When looking for the right fit, we often look at the location of the family. First and foremost, we want them to be able to visit often, to be able to come home from work or come home from the grocery store and stop and see their loved ones. We often look for levels of care, making sure that the community can provide the care that is needed for our senior adults. We also look at similar residents. So we take our time to look to see if there's other gentlemen or ladies that may look like the family of the loved one we are searching for. We also ask about staffing ratios and activities, or maybe even church services. These are great information or tools that we have in our backpack looking for the resident and their families to find a good fit. So we do ask a lot of questions, we do the research, we do the homework, and we look to find the match.
Well, fantastic, Carla. I just wanted to underscore what you mentioned is like having those questions at hand sounds like it really helps the family members, the older adults, select the right match for them. Is that correct?
Yes. The match is very important, but also you have to feel good. It's a good feeling when you walk into these assisted living and you can see and smell and know that you found the right place.
Well, great. Well, can you share a few other considerations just for those family caregivers and older adults to take advantage and experience all that an assisted living community has to offer?
We like to learn more about the level of staffing provided. We do ask about nurses and physician groups. We want to know everything we can about the employees or who is there going to be caring for our loved ones. So we definitely look into that. And then in many assisted living communities, we are looking to make sure that, all levels of care so they can stay long-term, that we never want to have to look again. I hope that when we find the right fit, that they stay, as long as possible. So our goal is to make sure that we do this right the first time and that we have answered all of their questions. We look at everything as much as we can. Sometimes we go back and look a couple times, or we'll bring different family members. So we really do make sure that we are looking at the staffing ratios, the care levels, and of course, the facility itself.
Well, wonderful, Carla. I was wondering, as this episode comes to a close, can you share any additional thoughts, resources, etc., that would help make the most of residing in an assisted living community, especially to take advantage of once they found the match, like how to really get out there and make sure that they feel like it's their home?
We do like to have family members come visit and do lunches or have, small parties with their loved ones, so that they can see and feel too the fit. Many of these communities offer transportation, ancillary services such as skilled home care or visiting physician groups, nursing staff. I really believe that it has to be all for one. So we want to make sure that everybody involved can stay involved throughout their time there. But of course, most of all, it offers a peace of mind to all of our families and to the loved ones that are there, and that they're provided 24 hours of care.
Carla, it's been a pleasure to have you here today on this episode and share your thoughts for older adults and their family caregivers to find the best match and make the most and enjoy where they're residing in an assisted living community. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Cheryl.
To view resources, show notes, and access more My Care Advisors episodes, visit mycareadvisors.com. You can also subscribe and listen to our podcast on your favorite app. I leave you with this thought. Start each day with an open mind to explore boundless possibilities. Choose to be inspired to live the best life every day. Thank you for listening. We are grateful to be your guide.